On December 13, 2021, Sony and Nintendo had another dream collab. It was hacked again. 3 hackers made use of PS4's kernel exploit, which is a buffer overflow to jailbreak a PS4 running firmware 9.00 or lower successfully. Hackers said the kernel exploit affected PS5 as well. This time I'm going to talk about how hackers jailbreak the game consoles. I'll explain it superficially and figuratively from a game enthusiast's point of view without any professional code knowledge involved. You may have heard many legends of hackers hacking console, and almost all of them involve a phrase, kernel exploit. What does it mean? And how the hackers break it by buffer overflow? We need to figure out what kernel mode is first, to ensure the computer runs smoothly without crashing and to protect user information. The CPU chip is designed to reference privilege settings and to provide a set of mechanics in hardware for software to use at a privilege level. This hierarchy of privileges is called protection rank. It has many ranks marked as rank 0 to rank 3 from inside out. The running privilege decreases as number increases. The outermost is rank 3, known as user mode, which contains the privileges we need for everyday use. When the process runs in this mode, the CPU operates in lowest privilege state. In this case, the user code is limited by the hardware and cannot execute potential dangerous instructions. By contrast, the RO and the code, the kernel mode, is the most privileged and has the best treatment. In this state, kernel codes can execute dangerous privilege instructions and have unrestricted access to memory and hardware. There are rank 1 and rank 2. They are too old to use. PS4 uses von Neumann architecture, so vulnerabilities are inevitable. And the kernel state vulnerability is a flaming door to palace. Once it's hacked, the host falls into control of others. Take jailbreak at the start. The kernel exploit called POOBS4 means play out of bounds Station 4. Using it, it can do almost anything on PlayStation 4, including installing cheese and trainer, running full Linux, and playing Super Mario. How the hackers exploit the kernel vulnerability and crack it. Actually, exploiting kernel vulnerabilities follows a simple idea. The attackers first construct conditions and relevant data that can trigger the vulnerability, and then uses special methods to attack it. In this case, the hackers use the bug found in the file system to write a buffer overflow tag data and store it in the USB, then access the host, and it starts to work. Buffer overflows are a bit complicated. Let's explain it figuratively. When we withdraw money from an ATM, the system asks for a 6-digit PIN number. Where the password is temporarily stored is called a buffer. As a careless programmer forgot to limit digits, you entered an 8-digit password beyond capacity. The extra 2 digits will cause a buffer overflow. They don't disappear, but occupy memory locations after password area, which causes ATM program to run with errors. Although it's a very small overflow bug, it can have very dangerous consequences, because there's a section of memory outside the password area that stores the return address of the function after the password is entered, and the system decides which instructions to execute based on the address. Once a bug is discovered by the hacker, the attack can be completed by code injection. According to von Neumann storage program theory, executable code and data are both stored in memory as binary data and cannot be directly distinguished from each other. The malicious code enter will be read as normal data and nothing will be found wrong. It takes advantage of the bug to trigger buffer overflow and implant its head address at the end to override the original return address. At this point, when the ATM reads the return address of the function, it jumps to a starting location of the malicious code and performs the hacker's task, such as opening the money box. This is a successful buffer overflow tag. Attacking buffer overflows in different programs can have different consequences. If the program has high privileges, for example, it can run a shell, technically, the hacker can gain control of the target machine. Shell protects kernel, no Perl, as the core of system permissions. CPU doesn't trust the ordinary users, so they don't have the direct access to a kernel. A program needs to be developed as a protected shell between the user and the kernel, and that's how shell came about. The user operates on it and it simply processes it and passes the task to kernel. The kernel then performs the task accordingly and has a filter raised to it. Finally, it presents a content to user. The shell is the middleman that sells data between two. So once the shell is controlled by the hacker, the kernel of the host is at its mercy. Playing top 3 consoles at the same time is nearing achieving. And that's why the jailbroken PlayStation 4 is so powerful. Where there's code, there are bugs. Although they're invincible, prices are wrong. Once exploited, they can shake the security foundation of the system. Thank you for watching. Please hit the like and subscribe button if you enjoy it.